I have some tape from an earlier game of yours last year. Could we watch some of that and then we talk through some of the plays?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So it's from the Georgetown game. I don't know if you've seen it. I like to do these save edits. One, because I love watching lacrosse, and then two, I think they're good learning tools for
Yeah.
for the kids out there. So
watch these videos whenever you post them. I always
good.
like.
Good. You're a fan.
Yes, definitely.
All right. All right. Hang on. Let me make our heads a little bit bigger here. How do I do this? Yeah, there we go. Okay. 41 seconds. So this is if you're just listening to the audio on the podcast, it's Denver, Georgetown, earlier game in the 2021 season. There we go. Let's watch this play.
Here's Bundy. The Hoyas start to attack the short sticks. Nice look.
Inside, a shot turned away. Thompson gets.
Nice save. Are you guys playing man here?
Yes. Yes, I believe we are. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because it's, I don't know, maybe like a defensive breakdown because this guy slides kind of adjacent. Is that part of the package?
No, I think that was a mistake. I think that's definitely something that we went over post game that kind of got a little yelled at and stuff like that, and something we needed to adjust for the future games.
Got it. Yeah, because he ends up, feeding. Ends up a guy being wide open in the middle of the crease. He's like, when he shoots it, he's probably at like 6-7 yards.
Yeah.
What do you, what's going through your mind at this point?
I mean, definitely was just kind of like it's like an enclosed shot there. I mean, I think he in this shot he kind of just brought his hands a little down, lowered his shoulders there, and I think I kind of just read that and just brought my stick down. And I think in this I actually kind of dropped down to my knees a little bit here. But yeah, no, just got to try to get a nice push off my back leg there, and then try to just get my stick there and my body behind it too.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about, the goalie Smith guys like got the read 'em and beat 'em technique on the inside shot. And it really like at this point, I mean, that's kind of what you have to do because you're right. He drops his shoulders, he drops his hands. And if he's going to sting a corner low to high right there, like tip of the hat to you, like we'll give that one up, but we have to anticipate low, and he does end up shooting it low. And I wished I had like high def video, the video quality I have it. I think I might have stole this from YouTube. Don't tell anybody, but just real nice athletic, you can see that drive off. So that's a real nice save there. And this is a save as a goalie, like, hey, I stole one. Right.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. Definitely got to look at it that way, and can definitely, when you make those saves like that, it can definitely be something that gives you a little bit more confidence, I think, going into the rest of the game there. So definitely.
Yeah, love it. All right, 116. Let's check out this play.
Caraway trying to get inside position. He blows a tire, still on his feet. Up front to Haley. His shot knocked away by Thompson.
One of the things people ask me, like, well, when I watch tape, like, what exactly am I looking for? And I mean, there's a lot of things you can look for, or you can just watch it to have fun. But one of the things that I like, I mean, I'm always watching the goalie, right? And so one of the things you do really well is just getting moving on the arc, right? Right here, you're on the pipe to defend, this guy that's at GLE, and then he swings it all the way to like your top right 45, and just watch that. Drop step and then kind of a hop, and you land in a nice athletic stance, like ready to make a save because the shot's coming in, right? And that's, I think, something you specifically work on.
Yeah, definitely. I think being able to move around in your arc, and especially to do it in a quick way is really important, especially I think the further you get on in your career of lacrosse, like the teams that you play and the guys that you play, they'll be able to just move the ball so much quicker, and being able to move in your arc quicker will just allow you to be able to be a little bit more set and ready for a shot, which will make it a little bit easier to make that save.
Yeah. This is a good shot of your stance right here in that sort of wide base. Did you always play at that wide base, or is that something that like Tierney and LaPlante taught you?
It's something I think that came. I think when I was younger, I don't know, was a little bit tighter, a little bit closer. And what Ryan and Trevor have just taught me is just a little bit beyond shoulder width apart. Um, and I mean, every goalie's a little bit different. They'll might be a little bit closer together, maybe a little bit further apart. But that's just kind of what felt natural to me. What felt natural to me. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you hear shoulder width, and I think shoulder width is too close. I think that you look at any like shortstop, any NFL linebacker, any of those positions where they get in that ready stance, and it's always a little bit wider than shoulder width because I think you get more explosion that way.
Yeah.
Do you remember this save?
I do. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I think, tried there. I could have brought my hands out a little bit more. Maybe just could have helped me control that rebound a little bit. But I do remember, just trying to get that stick down, trying to get that body behind it too. And then once that rebound comes, getting right up again and being ready for possibly another shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Those bounce shots are tough. I mean, for many goalies, it's the hardest shot for them to save. And this guy does this is like probably he's at the 11-yard, probably about 11-yard shot. And he bounces it like right before the crease. So right outside the crease. So that's tough because on grass, they can kick up. Like, it's not like you can come out and attack it at that point, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's one thing if it's a little bit closer to feet, but when it's a little bit further out, a little bit harder to read it and determine how to play it.
Yep. Anyway, great save there. 204.
Stick protection. Always keep the head follows the head of your stick.
Caraway with a rifle, turned away by.
Nice shot. Nice save. So this is sort of a replay of that previous save in the setup where like the guy's driving at GLE, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then passes it to the top left, to top right, you're 45, boom, get into a nice balanced position, see the ball, bam, explode those hands over. Anything else you'd add on that save?
Yeah, no, I'd just say I think especially when you're moving and you're along your arc and stuff like that, it's important just to, try to keep your hands up, not bring them down, back up, down, back up. Try to just stay in that athletic stance and positioning when that ball is moving across. I think just being in good position will just make making a save a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. In this save right here, is it purely read and react, or are you sort of reading the situation in that like he's shooting? I've got two guys sprinting at him, like from that overhand shot. I guess he could still shoot low, but I don't know. What are you? Is it a pure read and react?
Yeah, I would say yeah. I mean, definitely when they're beyond 10, I'd say it's mostly just a read react versus just trying to, I personally think like when you try to, think too much about where they might be placing it and stuff like that, sometimes you're gonna be right and get that save, but other times you might be wrong, and those times that you're wrong, you could be just putting yourself at a disadvantage there. So I try to play most of those shots that are beyond 10 just straight up and just trying to get to those balls just with reaction.
Awesome. The other thing you kind of do right here, and I've seen a lot of goalies do this, and John Galloway calls it the hop. And it's like when you're getting in your stance, it's like a little hop that kind of like resets your weight. Is that something you're doing? I mean, do you know that you're doing that? Is that something you do, a technique you do specifically?
No, I'd say it's definitely just a habit, I'd say. But I can definitely see, how that can be a factor, especially. I just think that could also just be something that kind of just sets you and preps your body and mind just to be ready for that shot.
Yeah. Well, you called it a habit. I mean, it's a good habit. Like, you know, I think when we talk about habits, most of the time it has a negative connotation. But yeah, I think it's just something like you said, like, you know, you're especially when you're moving on the arc, or like when the guy's driving down the wing, or like driving from where he's at right now, top right, to, you know, to the center, where you have to like move on the arc, but then here comes the shot, and I can just do it's not a big one, right? We're not like jumping up and down, but it's just a little reset of the weight.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that could definitely be useful. You know, as long as you're just doing it before that shot comes, you know, it would maybe be the best thing if you're doing that right as the shot's coming. But could definitely, I could see it being that.
No. This is definitely before the ball leaves the stick. That's for sure. Bam. All right. Oh, the other thing I was going to mention here, this is kind of a cool learning point, is like whenever you're outletting the pass, you always want to miss long, right? Like you miss long right here, and guess what? Like he can just run right under it. Whereas if you would have shorted him, then like that ruins the whole fast break.
Yeah, no, it's something I've been talking to the coaches with about a whole lot this past season. To just even we were talking to D guys, and they almost thought it was easier to get the ball off that one hop, that bounce in front of them, than for them kind of just to turn like that and catch it over the shoulder. So, that was something we were working on a lot, especially later in the season.
Awesome. Let's watch this play. It's amazing.
Thompson, Malik Sparrow, big time ground ball.
Here's Sparrow.
Excuse me.
Getting inside.
Boom. I love that play. That was awesome.
Yeah, Malik's a great guy.
Great display of athleticism.
Definitely, yeah.
Is that guy coming back, or did he graduate?
Yeah, no, he's. I'm living with him at DU, and he'll be back. He's probably the best athlete we got.
Awesome. 4:04 is the next one.
Still 18 on the shot clock. Here's Haley. Very patient by the Hoyas.
Thompson is focused in.
Here's a shot up top by McDermott.
Couple questions. Who is yelling there?
I think that's Coach Gallant. Coach Gallant there. He's definitely loud. But yeah, no, I've been with him in high school. He was my head coach actually. So he was my head coach, sophomore, junior, senior year, and then the year I was going in to be a freshman at DU is the same year that he took over as the defensive coordinator. But yeah, no, he's definitely loud in our games, and it helps us out a lot.
Yeah, well, one of the things I love about not having fans there, and this is a April game, so there's no fans, is there's no noise. Like you can hear all of the communication on the players, and that's just awesome. I mean, he's just at the top of his lungs yelling lefty, lefty, and kind of communicating that way. And then this save ends up being a pretty nice one. I mean, these, you know, if we're being honest, like these are the saves we want to make. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I think what was good about this actually is I think Malik was like about to like be a screen guy, but right as this guy's about to release it, Malik kind of just turned away, and it just kind of, you know, as a goalie, being able to see that ball from the shooter all the way to your stick, it makes saves a lot easier versus when you got a D guy or an attack guy running through meanwhile, or kind of getting in the way of your view. So I think this shot, I recall just having just a good view of it and being able to just track it into my stick.
Yeah, that's interesting. So they're looking at this guy in the middle here. I always said, like, I don't want a defender to do like a real last minute, like drastic change of movement, because like if he's standing right here and sort of taking that shooting lane, like I know if the guy's not going to shoot there. Whereas then if he jumps out of the way, like or let me put it this way, if the shot is in that shooting lane, he's gonna absorb it, right? And if he jumps out of the way, but you're saying, so you saw this one all the way.
Yeah, I think he was kind of about to be in like that shooting lane there. Like he wasn't quite there in that, but kind of just turned away, which kind of just allowed me to be able to see that ball a little bit better.
Yeah, I can't tell from the video. The video is pretty poor quality. Did this bounce?
No, I think that was just a stick side
high. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, if we're being honest, 14, maybe 15 yarder with, someone right there. I mean, they might even have made contact with the shooter when he gets shot, stick side high, like, cool. We'll make those saves.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. 447.
Last one on the man up right before the break. Here's Haley. Haley gets in front. Stick save by Thompson.
So on this play, Georgetown guy is driving down the wing, and these ones are always like, they're interesting because on one hand, like he has very little angle, right? Like it's a tough shot, but on the other hand, I mean, he releases this 4 yards away on the run. So like you don't have much time to react like we do to an outside shot. What is your, when you face these alley dodges, low angle shots, what's your thoughts? What's going on in your head?
I mean, so yeah, one thing me and Coach Randy have talked about has just been like how to play these low angles. And sometimes how I'll play them is I'll really kind of get against the pipe. And like that, it definitely is great when the shooter has, like barely an angle and stuff like that. But I mean, one thing we found was just like when I do that and the guy has, a little bit more of an angle, like in this scenario, that when you get your feet together and stuff like that, right along the pipe, that it doesn't necessarily help you, mobility wise or any way in moving your stick to the ball. So, whenever they have a little bit more of an angle, I try to say, I try to tighten up my stance just a little bit, but try to, still be able to move definitely. I think, the shot comes off stick side, and I was just able to get that push off that leg and get my body behind it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's sort of exactly what happens here. He shoots it, and at that point, like, are you reading the body language, or did you see the shot and then kind of explode to that?
Definitely in close. I read their body language a bit more, and I'd say it's a little bit of a combination there. Reading the fact that he's not going to pull that one low, and then at the same time, just trying to find that ball out of the air. And if you can't get there with your stick, just try to get your body behind that any way you can.
Yeah. I think the announcer said you made it with your stick. It does kind of look like it hits your body, huh?
Yeah, no, I think that was just off the chest there.
Off the chest. All right. Do you have a least favorite spot to get hit?
Least favorite spot? I would say, yeah, no, I think I used to thought it was thigh, but I think if you get a really solid calf shot, I mean, your calf will really tighten up and sometimes can't even walk. So I think I'd say the calf is my least favorite.
Calves are brutal. Yeah. Calves are brutal. That was 447. So let's go 6 minutes.
Watson trying to get inside, gets doubled, still has it, shoots. Stopped by Thompson.
Number 4.
Awesome. So this is another one of those examples of just kind of reading the situation. So the guy, the Hoyas guy, I mean, he's essentially falling down at GLE. So very low angle, getting doubled, right? Mm-hmm. And as a goalie, like that's what you're seeing. And you can look at you in goal, like you're already down there ready for a low shot, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if a guy is able to, fall down like that and sting it high, then, props to him. But I think, just I was reading the situation. I was like, there's no way he can pull that one high. So I just tried to stay low and was able to get to it.
Yep. Love that save. All right. 729.
7 advantage.
Dumps it off behind to Watson. Watson up top to Caraway. Thompson makes the save.
Yeah, I mean, this is another example of those saves that, like, hey, this is one we want to have. You know, I mean, this is way out there, 16 yards. I think you're telling your D guys, I will take that shot every single time, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think Caraway did a good job though here, shooting around the guy, around Squires there, which definitely, you know, when shooters are able to do that, definitely makes it a little bit harder for us goalies to be able to see that ball and save it. But I think just the fact that, you know, it's 16 yards out, I had, you know, enough time still to be able to track it there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Those are tough shots. Like when an attackman shoots like right off the hip or like right off the calf, right off the leg of your defender, because you don't pick up that release point necessarily right away. So yeah, actually that is a good point. So maybe it's a little more difficult, but like you said, you know, 16 yards, I'll make that save. And then here's kind of a cool learning point for defenders, because sometimes, you know, defenders will get so excited and they'll actually throw the ball back to the goalie, essentially shooting on the goalie. And I've seen a lot of own goals that way. So yeah, he just dumps it, you know, places it into the crease, allow you to scoop it up. And I guess that's something you guys have done and practiced and trained.
Exactly.
Yeah. Awesome. Last one is at
Good stop by Denver.
hang on, we went past it.
Up the interior defense.
Bundy gets an opening, takes a bouncer, and Thompson's there.
Save. Nice save. Yeah. So I don't know if you have much to add on this one, but, you know, this is one of those ones where he's driving, hands free, leaning into the shot. We're at about 14 yards, so a little bit of a ways away. What are you seeing on this play?
Yeah, I mean, like this is one of those times that I feel like when I was younger, I may have just completely dropped on. But I think that in this scenario, that, you know, staying high and not going, you know, dropping that low, you know, was beneficial. And, you know, like just being able to get your body behind that ball, even though, you know, you may give up a rebound, you know, it's better, you know, to make that save and have that rebound than for it to go in the back of the net. So, I mean, just being able to get your body behind that ball, I think was, you know, sometimes bouncers, you know, are tough to read and stuff like that. But, you know, in this, I think I was just trying to get my body and chest behind it.
Yeah, well, this is a great example of why staying on your feet is a better technique. Because, you know, if you see this ball coming in as a bouncer, you know, you see it coming in low and you drop to your knees right there, guess what? That's a goal, because that's bouncing up into the top corner. But you do not. I mean, you stay on your feet and then you can explode up almost as if it's an off stick high shot. I mean, you're really exploding up with your body in that way, which is a great save.
Yeah, and I mean, dropping down on a lot of just low bouncers was just a habit that I had when I was younger. So it's just something I was trying to get rid of.
Awesome. There is one last save I want to take a look at.
Caraway comes out, wraps around, knocked away by Thompson. And the ball goes flying up, and
I mean, what a save considering the situation. So it's 10-10. There's, you know, 10 seconds left in the game, and they're going for the game winner right here. He drives from X, and then he gets a step on him and kind of dives, and bam, nice save. What's going through your head when, you know, you see him kind of coming around GLE?
Yeah, I mean, one thing we were trying to emphasize a lot, and Coach T was getting on all of us goalies throughout the year, which is kind of holding that pipe. But especially once a guy in attack and kind of gets around, gets a little bit more angle, and especially in this scenario here, like kind of getting that dive there, kind of just creates, and getting his stick in front of him just creates a little bit more of an angle. So I think that's kind of why I threw my stick out for that off stick side high. And I think this one actually just got me in the foot here. So, you know, sometimes, you know, the ball goes your way and you get a little lucky save there.
Love it. Awesome. Well, that was fun. Thank you for taking us through some of those plays and showing us behind the scenes